Welcome to ComSpark. Today we are here in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Bryan Kaiser, part of the Executive Host Committee for ComSpark, and I will be your guest host today. We are here today with Todd Swenson from CoverMyMeds, and we're looking forward to having a great conversation. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You bet, you bet. So, workforce mobility and the role of that in technology today, how is it improving the overall experience for your associates?
Yeah, this is actually one that I'm really passionate about. I'll start with my beginnings. Actually, right after college, when I graduated, I took an IT help desk role. And it was back in the day where we didn't have many ticketing systems, so a lot was written down, and you'd go out and visit the customer. And I think really early on in my career, I realized how important the user experience was to their engagement with the company. If they didn't have the right tools, if they didn't have the right equipment, if they didn't have the right setup, a lot of times you would see them get very frustrated, and all of a sudden that disengagement would happen. Why I think that's important from a workforce mobility perspective is you think about how can we take what we have in the office and the culture that we've built at CoverMyMeds and really extend that out to anybody. So it doesn't matter if they're sitting in our office, it doesn't matter if they're outside at their house, it doesn't matter if they're 3,000 miles away. How can we create that same kind of culture and that great experience? And so that's something that we focus on a lot at CoverMyMeds. When I think about what maybe makes us a little bit different than some is we don't just approach it from a technology perspective. Technology is a key piece, right? You have to have the right collaboration tools, you have to have the right video conferencing tools, you have to have all of the different tools in place to be able to make sure that people are communicating, but it's a lot more than that. You have to have the right leadership in place. Leaders are really important. They need to make sure that the teams are really communicating, that all work is being channeled into a tool or communication platform that allows everybody to see the work, that they're collaborating together, and that experience is happening for every associate on the team. We also look a lot at the behaviors. One simple thing is just making sure that video is on. When you can see somebody, it's a lot different kind of a experience than when it's just a blank screen. And there's a lot of other behaviors that go into that. How do we make sure that all work is funneling into the tools and that the team is really coming together and really seeing all of the work together so they can pair and really get all the work done that needs to get done. And I think that's when you kind of look at that in totality, that's kind of the culture that we've built. And I think that's the really exciting part from my perspective is trying to continue to sustain that, listen to the feedback from our customers and figure out how to continually improve this. So it's a great experience for us. It's a great experience for every associate, but it's also a way to really bring in new talent outside of Columbus and Cleveland, which is where our headquarters are. It really opens that up a little bit, and that's really key to really coming back to the company is to provide a great user experience, but ultimately to really have that deliver to our mission, which is to help patients get the medication they need to live healthy lives. So ultimately, if we can have a greif our associates are really engaged, hopefully we're really moving that patient experience forward.
Well, I love this idea of the video aspect because communication, studies would say 55% of communication is body language. So without the video, you're seeing only a fraction of the communication. I would expect that to improve. So we know technology is changing our personal lives. It's changing the way that we do business. In addition to using video, what are some other things that you guys are doing from a technology perspective that are improving your business?
Yeah, a couple of different things. I think one is we have a lot of good feedback channels in place. We are an agile organization. We have a lot of Scrum that happens. We have some less framework that happens, and I think we do a really good job of listening to our associates and constantly evolving the services that we do. I think you also, when you come into our offices, you get a feeling for that culture. When you go into community spaces, there's technology all around that helps drive it, but our associates are constantly interacting and moving us forward. I think from a technology perspective, when I think about shared tech and some of what we're doing, we always are focused on solutions that limit the process for our team members. We are a distributed IT shop. We have a lot of developers that are very focused on specific products for specific customers. And so what we don't want to do is we don't want to create tools that have 50,000 review processes and have these long lead times, right? We want to really shrink that. So that's kind of our approach, at least from that perspective, to really make sure that we are allowing our team members to be as productive as possible.
Good. And you guys have a great reputation, you're growing. How are you winning the war on talent right now?
You know, that's a great question. I think when it comes to technology, we focus on yes. All aspects of my team, when we get a new request, it's never a no, it's how do we do this? And I think that from a technology perspective is how we really try to help. And one of the things, we did last year is we have a bunch of different associates, and we looked and did a poll as to what technologies are you interested in? What kind of platforms do you want to be on? And it was an overwhelming, we would like to be more and more on Macintosh computers versus virtual desktops and some others. So we went through and we gave everybody a MacBook Pro. So it's just things like that. We're constantly trying to get that feedback. We're constantly trying to understand what our associates are really looking for out of us, and always finding some way to say yes to that.
That's good, and I'm gonna kind of shift gears here and talk about a dirty word, cybersecurity and risk.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone's trying to figure out how to address this. It's evolving every day. I think we're just scratching the surface on what it even means, but every day you see something in the news about someone getting hacked or someone losing data. How are you guys addressing the quick evolution of cybersecurity?
In a couple of different ways, in all honesty. I think the first thing is we really try to empower our associates and educate them on what it means to have secure platforms, secure solutions, secure products. We do a lot around training from that perspective, and we really even have communities of practice very much focused on security. So it's not something where you have to be on our security operations or our GRC teams, which are very focused on security in general. We actually have those communities out there that are constantly meeting. They meet every other week, and they actually talk about what's going on in the industry right now. What should we be thinking about? And that is actually where we get a lot of our really good ideas that we put into practice. So it's a mentality of, how do we have 1,000 different security folks in our organization? And then that's really what we try to live up to.
Well, I know we have limited time today, and we certainly could unpack all these areas more. But folks, you've heard it from Todd Swenson from CoverMyMeds. I'm Bryan Kaiser with ComSpark. For more information on ComSpark, visit comspark.tech, and have a great day.